ask you a quick question about
Sure.
your speech? First of all, I thought it was the best speech of the day because you actually called for something tangible, actual police deployment. Why isn't it happening?
It's happening because everybody's passing the buck. The feds saying this is a local issue. The province is saying, local issue. Like James and I, from the firebombing of the Jewish supermarket 3 years ago, we said we need this to be treated like an act of terror. And the RCMP said, no, it's not us. It's not us. The police matter. We've had the Jewish day school shot at twice.
3 times, yeah.
3 times. We've had these synagogue shootings. We've had a Jewish career college on Alness shot at the other day. We've had Jewish businesses shot at. So we're saying this is not just a local thing. It's so obvious. It's happening at the synagogues in York Region and here, synagogues in Councillor Chernis Lynn's area. This is not just random stuff. When are the people going to wake up and realize we're dealing with an orchestrated attempt to terrorize the Jewish community that comes from those Iranian agents? That's where it's coming from.
You're speaking very boldly about these things, and perhaps it's because of the demographics of your riding. Can you help me understand why others won't do so? I mean, I'm not asking you to explain the mayor, but the mayor is not here today. And I'm worried that the demographics of this city cause other councilmen to shy away from speaking bluntly.
I
Go disagree. I'm someone who has different demographics in my riding.
What's your name?
Rachel Chernis Lynn.
And what's your
I represent
district?
Don Valley West,
Okay.
Ward 15. I'm a councillor.
Okay.
And I have a very large Muslim community, and I have no problem standing up against this. I've had shots fired in my ward at Temple Emmanuel. I have Kehillat Sharei Torah. It has been struck 10 times. Not only do I discuss it in the north of my ward, where there are Jews and Persians and Chinese families and Taiwanese families and
How about it?
But I talk about it in Thorncliffe Park too.
But do you talk about it where it matters? Would you talk about it to the police chief?
I talk about it with Myron Demke regularly.
And what does he say?
Listen, I was in Poland and Israel with Myron Demke. We did a learning trip.
Thanks, but what about here in Toronto?
But I will tell you that he is certainly committed to uncovering, as you heard today, unturning every stone. But I will tell you, we need more than simply boots on the ground from Toronto Police. You've heard from my colleagues today. Our city has been spending so much money protecting the Jewish community, and I'm not saying it isn't worth it. It is worth it. But it also is at the expense of other parts of Toronto where we also see crime. We need more.
How is the public safety minister? What has the public safety minister done?
Well, that's a great question. I'm not in the federal government. That's why you've heard my colleagues today, Mike Cole and James Pasternak and myself and Toronto City Council passed unanimously a motion asking for a task force that includes the RCMP, CSIS, the federal government, the OPP, the provincial government, and City of Toronto working collaboratively to ensure that adequate resources are put towards this so that Canada, Toronto, Ontario, Jews everywhere, and communities everywhere are safe.
Councillor Pasternak, you had something to say?
Yeah, I would say that you've got the political elites who are not speaking out for 2 main reasons. One is there's one group that are scraping the barrel for a few extra votes, and then there's another group who are afraid. And until there's unanimity of purpose and unanimous condemnation of this violence in our city, it will continue. And I can also tell you the federal government has inspired these mobs on the streets by recognizing the state of Palestine, by saying they will arrest the Prime Minister of Israel, and by demonizing the state of Israel in its current form. So that is not helpful at all. That makes our city more dangerous.
I asked the chief about his new deputy's comments about just not having troops to spare, to station a guard here.
We do not have infinite resources. We could not tomorrow, even if we wanted to, put a police officer on every corner of every corridor that is what we could call a Jewish community area. So we have to be as economical, as efficient as we can. We are, as I said, we are maximizing the deployment. We are drawing police officers away from other work to attend to this. But we cannot shut the entire city down. I mean, There is a limit. However, police will do everything that police can do, but that falls short of offering a guarantee that I could never offer any community in Toronto. A guarantee. Like, how could I do that?
What do you think about that?
Well, for a city of 3 million, our force is quite small. It's about 5,500 officers. We've added another 500.
Should the OPP be doing something, or the RCMP?
Absolutely,
the OPP.
they're MIA. You know, James and I have been saying, we've had these terrorist-inspired agitators. They occupied a neighborhood in Toronto, Avenue Road and 401, for 4 months. And we kept on begging the OPP to come in and help. They refused.
Why? What was their
They said
excuse?
it's not our job, it's a local matter. They always give the excuse, it's the city. Meanwhile, these are internationally organized hate terrorists. And so we've been saying that for years. Every time they do something, we get an excuse from the feds, an excuse from the OPP. So it's, as I've said, it's enough of these excuses.
Right. And, you know, we've got mobs that come up every Sunday afternoon to Bathurst and Shepherd. And when they're in the mood, they go into the neighborhood to terrorize the local residents. And we are spread so thin that we need the intelligence of CSIS and the RCMP, and we need boots on the ground from
And
the
money.
OPP. And we need the foreign funding cut off.
Yeah.
Because these mobs are foreign funded
Now look at
and
all
domestic funded.
Look at all the crypto shops, Iranian crypto shops up Yonge Street, funneling money back and forth between the regime in Iran and Toronto. Why are these 30 crypto shops still operating in impunity and laundering money and financing this activity? What other proof do you need?